So today we are doing exercises, okay, for learning unit 1. So if you have attempted the exercises, can you please give me a thumbs up if you have attempted them? Oh, firstly, can you guys hear me properly? There are no scratches in my voice or any inconsistencies. Okay, so I means everything is okay, so there's no problem. So if you have attempted the exercise, can you please give me a thumbs up? Okay, it looks like nobody attempted the exercise, but let's just get to it. So maybe I'll give you maybe some time to actually think about the answer, and then I'll ask you what's the answer, okay? So as I've said, we're going to do exercises for today, and we have finished doing the introduction to statistics, which is learning unit 1, and then we'll be starting with learning unit 2, I think, on our next session. On our next session, I'm not sure, but tomorrow, it will be tomorrow on Saturday, but I'm not sure. I'll confirm on the group. I'll send a message. So for us to start with learning unit 2 quickly before the lecture starts with it on next week, okay, on your class, ATE class next week. Okay, so let's get into it. Question 1. Determine whether the following statements are true or false. Justify your answer. A sample contains more information than a population. Is this statement true or is it false? And also justify your answer. If you wanna raise your hand, and then I'll pick you, and then you'll answer quickly. Number 1, a sample contains more information than a population. Is it true or false? And then you must justify whether you must justify your answer after that. Okay, it looks like you guys are very shy today, don't feel like answering. Okay, so the answer for number 1 is false. Why? It's because a sample is a subset of a population. So a sample is inferred or drawn from a population. If I have a population of 50 people, a sample is when I take only 10 people from those 50 people. So you can agree with me that a sample is smaller than a population, because a sample is derived or taken from the population. Okay, so if you are okay with the first answer, can you please give me a thumbs up? Okay, that's great. Okay, another thing is, as you have noticed, if you have gone through the document, then down at the bottom of the document, there are answers to these questions. So the reason why I'm actually doing these questions with you, although there are answers down there, it's because they give you answers and not explanations, okay? So what's important in statistics is not the answer here, but it's the explanation behind, and then they don't give you the reason for that answer. And then so it will be useless if you cram the answer, because when you get to your semester test, you won't use the answer you have crammed. You will need to have that reason behind the answer, okay? So you need to have the reason behind the answer. Okay. Oh, thank you for clapping hands. Thank you, guys. So you need to have that reason. So that reason is the one that you're going to use to apply the information, the information to apply on the scenario they are going to give you. They're going to give you a scenario that is new, and then what you have to do is you have to use that reason for you to do what? To answer the question at hand. Okay? So that's why I'm actually choosing to do with you these questions. Okay. Okay. So let me continue from where I left off. Okay. Number 2 says inferential statistics consists of methods for generalizing from samples to populations. Inferential statistics consists of methods for generalizing from samples to populations. Anyone who wants to answer that one? Just raise up your hand and then try. You don't have to be correct, don't worry, it's fine. This is a platform for making mistakes, so mistakes are allowed. So don't worry, you won't be judged or something. You need to make mistakes here so that when you get to the exam room, you are actually at the top of your game, and then you won't make that same mistake. Okay, you can do now. You can unmute yourself and answer. Okay. Oh, you said true. Okay, can you please justify why you say the second statement is true? Okay. So, Duna, your answer is 100% correct. So, so the reason behind why he said is true, it's because of the definition of inferential statistics, okay? So this is actually part of the definition of inferential statistics. Inferential statistics are methods, consists of methods for generalizing using sampled data to generalizing using sampled data to generalizing to populations, right? I think somebody unmuted themselves. Okay, it's cool. So I was saying, the reason for number 2 is because of the definition of inferential statistics. Okay, so this statement actually agrees with the definition of inferential statistics. Okay. All right. So number 3. The branch of statistical methods pertaining to gathering, organizing, summarizing, and presenting of data in a convenient, usable, and communicable form is known as inferential statistics. So is this statement true or false? And please justify your answer. If you have the answer, please help us. So number 3, it's false. Why? This is actually the definition for descriptive statistics. Okay, it's not inferential statistics. Remember, inferential statistics consists of methods for generalizing from samples to populations. Okay, so this one is the definition for descriptive statistics. Okay, so if you compare it to the definition of descriptive statistics, it will give you the same thing. These statements will actually agree with each other. Okay, so number 4, a parameter is a numerical summary measure that varies from sample to sample. Remember what's a parameter, and remember what's a sample. So I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to give you a clue by telling you what's a parameter. Okay, so a parameter is It's actually a number calculated from what? Population data. Okay, it's a number calculated from population data. Remember, population data, we denote it using the capital letter N, right? So a parameter is a number calculated from population data. So for example, if you calculate a mean using population data and not sample data, that mean we call it parameter. And also remember, the opposite of parameter is what? Sample statistics. Okay, so sample statistic is a number that is obtained when you calculate using sampled data. Okay, for example, when you calculate the mean using sampled data instead of population data. So in light of that information I've just provided right now, can you please give me the answer for number 4, anyone? I'll just repeat it. Number 4, a parameter is a numerical summary measure that varies from sample to sample. Okay, can you please justify after? Nkosinati, you can unmute and answer. Yes, I can. Okay, why do you say it's false? Population. Okay, 100. Okay, so you are 100% correct. So it's false. Why? Because parameters are measured from the population and not the sample. So it's because of this one. So if it was population here instead of sample, then the number 4 would have been correct. But because it's sample, no, it's incorrect. The parameter is for population. Okay, so let's go to question number 2. Which of the following variables are discrete and which are continuous? Okay, so can somebody please explain to me what discrete means? Anyone? Try to remember, guys. Try to paste through your notes where you were actually using, or that you actually wrote when you. Okay, thank you. Because Nati, you can answer. What's the meaning of discrete? Okay, yeah, you can try. No problem. 100%. 100%. That's the 100% answer. Okay, so it's obtained by counting. Okay, so what's continuous? 100% correct. 100% correct. So discrete data is data that we actually obtain it by counting. Okay, so for example, the number of students in a room, we obtain that number by counting and not measuring. We do not measure the number of students in a room, but we count the number of students in a room. So for continuous, we obtain the continuous data by doing what? By measuring. So we do not count the temperature. We do what? We measure it. So in light of this information we've just discussed right now, let's just answer some few questions. Okay, question number 1, you have to ask yourself whether this information is actually obtained by counting or measuring. So number 1 says the kilometers driven by Johannesburg bus drivers each day, is it discrete or continuous? Anyone, you can just raise up your hand quickly and then I'll point at you and then you'll answer. Remember guys, also this trains you to actually be able to speak in crowds. So please speak up. If you are shy, I expect you to speak up because this is actually training. Okay. It seems like only one person is answering, but for this time, okay, let me allow you. You can answer Nkosinati. It's continuous, 100%, 100%. It's continuous, right? Why is it continuous? It's because we measure kilometers, but we do not count kilometers, but we measure them. So it's continuous. Sorry. Because we do not count kilometers, but we measure them. Okay. So number 2, it says the number of pairs of shoes sold by shop ABC. The number of pairs of shoes sold by shop ABC. Okay. Duna, yes, you can answer. It's discrete, 100%, 100%. So he said it's discrete. The answer is 100%. Why? It's because we count shoes, we do not measure them. Okay? So the answer is discrete. Okay? Number 3, the ages of students enrolled in a course. Anyone who wants to try the ages of students enrolled in a course? Okay, so the answer for number 3 is continuous. So the answer for number 3 is continuous. Why? It's because the ages are measured in years. In years, I'm sorry. They're measured in years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if the ages were, for example, they specified and said ages in years, in the number of years, the answer could be discrete instead of continuous. Remember, discrete does not have any comma or decimal. Okay, so if you measure the number of students, the age of students in actually in years, months, weeks, and days, so the number will be having commas. Okay, so you'll be maybe, for example, 1 year, comma 0.5 months, something like that. So it will be having a comma. So an important thing you have to note is that discrete numbers do not have commas. Okay, and continuous numbers have commas, and also it's possible for continuous numbers or continuous data to have a whole number and sometimes it has commas, but most of the times continuous data has commas or decimals, but discrete all of the time it's only whole numbers. Okay, for discrete only whole numbers. So if the ages of students were measured in years only, the answer could have been what? Discrete instead of continuous. So we are saying in continuous because ages, we assume that the ages are measured in years, um, months, weeks, days, and so on and so forth. And then the figure will be having commas and stuff. So yeah. So if you understand number 3, you can just give me a thumbs up. And if you don't, just um, tell me or give me a thumbs down. I'll explain once again. Alright, so everybody is cool with it. So that's great. Number 4, the amount of petrol in cars. Anyone? And please, if you answer, please give me a reason why you say so. Okay? Duna, yes, you can answer. Continuous. Why do you say it's continuous? Please repeat. Okay. I didn't hear you properly, but the answer is very correct. It's very correct. It's continuous. Why? The reason is because we do not count the amount of petrol in a car, but we measure it. Okay. So that's why we say that the answer is continuous and not discrete. So number 5, the temperature of airplane interiors. Anyone other than Duna and the other guy who was answering too much? Anyone? Please, anyone, please, guys, try. Please try. Please try and give the answer, please. Don't be afraid. Guys, please. Okay, anyone? Okay, Duna, you can answer. It's fine. It looks like people are not in the mood of answering today. So you can answer. Kenkosi Nati, you can answer even though you were answering too much. Continuous. Why do you say so? And not, okay? 100%, 100%. So the answer is continuous. So the reason is what he said. It's because he said that it's continuous because we actually measure the temperature, and also the figure of a temperature usually has commas. Okay, so that's 100% correct. So number 6 is the reaction time following an electrical shock. Time. The key word is time. So do we count time or do we measure it? So is the answer discrete or continuous? Anyone other than Kosinati or Duna? Anyone? Oh, Penina says the 6th one is continuous. 100%, you are 100% true. Correct, you are 100% correct. The 6th one is continuous. Can you please give an explanation why you say so? It's because it's very important for you to give an explanation. because I know answers are there at the bottom of the document, but they do not have reasons why. So it's very important for you to know the reason behind the answer, because okay, because time. Yeah, that's very true. It has around half past something, and then so that means that it has commas and stuff. That's 100% true. It's because time also can be written in commas, and then we said that discrete numbers or discrete data does not have any comma. It's only whole numbers. Okay, so time is measured. Okay, so we do not count time, we measure time. Okay, so it's continuous. The number of books, number 7, the number of books issued daily by the UJ library. Anyone? In the chat box. Okay, 100%, because we can't have a book that is half 100%. Your answer is actually 100%. We cannot have a half book, so it's impossible. So we actually count them and not measure them. Okay, so this is discrete. So the number of pupils with a grade 10 certificate. Yes, you can. Let me see, who is it? Okay, Zwani, you can answer. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought he raised the hand. Anyone? You can answer number 8. Anyone? The number of pupils with a grade 10 certificate. Okay, pupils simply means school children. Okay, Ngozi Nati, you can answer. Discrete. Why do you say so? Okay, and not measure them, right? 100%. So it's discrete. And then let's move on to question 3. Okay. Identify the scale of measure for the following variables. Do you guys remember the scales of measure that I discussed with you? I think it was last week, yeah. I said we have 4 measurement scales. Okay. Number 1 is nominal scale. Oh, I think somebody unmuted themselves. I think they wanted to. Yes, you can answer, Duna. Okay. 100% nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval, and ratio. You are 100% correct. So the answer to these questions has to be one of these scales. Okay. So one of the important techniques I want you to use when answering this question is that I need you to first, because it's easier to determine whether a sentence is actually a numerical variable or a categorical variable, right? So I need you to first determine whether it's numerical or categorical. So because it's easier to tell whether this sentence is numerical or categorical just at a glance, right? So if it's numerical, you know for sure that it's either interval or ratio scale. If it's categorical, you know that it's either the nominal scale or the ordinal scale, so that you don't get to maybe read the statement and try to compare all the scales at once, look at them all of them at once. No, so that's actually a time eater. So, and then in this module, time is very important. It's a very important factor. So they will be giving you a question paper, and then I'm sure when they are deciding time to allocate to you for you to finish the thing, they give you time to do to read. Maybe they say 1 minute to read and then the other minute to write. They don't give you time to think or something. So you have to actually be very fast when you are writing. So in this module, if you can't manage your time correctly, it will be very difficult for you to actually get good marks, because the time will be up and then you actually would know the answer, but because of the time you won't be able to actually answer because the time will be up. So it's very important to look at time, and when you are practicing these questions, please try to practice doing them very quickly, okay? And also, don't overlook the fact that you have to be accurate. When somebody does something quickly, they tend to make mistakes, and then that's not very good. So you'll get an incorrect answer anyway. So your speed will actually be useless. So you have to practice speed and accuracy. Okay. So yeah. So as I said, you have to determine whether the sentence is actually numerical or categorical. If it's numerical, you know that it's either the answer is interval or ratio. Then you compare the standards that I gave you, and then determine whether it's interval or ratio. If it's categorical, just look at compare only numerical and ordinal, and don't mind interval and ratio. So if you are okay with what I've just said, can you please give me a thumbs up? I need to make sure if you are following up. Gosinati is following. Only him. Okay, and also Penaina, and alright. So I think all of us, we are okay. I see Duni, I see Zwani. Okay, we are all okay. So yeah. Okay, so number one. So you guys remember the I'm sure you guys remember the standards for each of these scales, okay? So I assume that you guys remember them. Okay, so number one, the consumers who are to be categorized as either married, unmarried, or divorced. So I said first you have to quickly identify whether, at a glance, identify whether this data is actually numerical or categorical. If it's categorical, look only at numerical or ordinal. If it's numerical, look at interval or ratio. Okay, so yeah. Number one, anyone who wants to answer whether it's nominal scale, ordinal, interval, or ratio? Anyone? Okay, I think I have something in the chat box. Let me just see. Categorical meaning as a nominal scale. Penina, you are very correct. You are very correct. Penina says that categorical, it's categorical and the data is categorical, so meaning that it's a nominal scale because you can name them anyhow. That's 100% correct. We use the nominal scale because we can name these categories anyhow. They do not follow a specific order, or they cannot be ranked. Okay? So Duna said, I think this is the first one, 100%. Duna, you are also 100% correct. So he actually said the same thing Penina said. So we use the nominal scale here. So number 2, marks obtained in an exam. Okay, Nkosinati, you can answer. Ratio scale. Okay, why do you say so? Okay. Interval 100%. Okay. Mm-hmm. No, don't worry. We're not talking about continuous. You'll have to worry about commas and stuff when we are talking about continuous and discrete. So this time, don't worry about the commas. Okay. Yes. Number 1, you said there's a true zero. Number 2. Yes, 100%. You can explain. Okay, no problem. But either way, your answer is 100% correct. And then the last one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%. If somebody has 20 marks, it means that that person has twice as much as 10 marks. So ratios are meaningful. 100% correct. 100% correct. Everything you said is correct. There's nothing incorrect. So we use the ratio scale for the reasons he said. Number 1, he said that there's a true or an absolute zero. And number 2, he said the difference between the variable values are meaningful, which means if you the difference between 10 marks and 20 marks is the same as the difference between 30 marks and 40 marks, which is only 10 marks. So the difference between the data variables are meaningful. And the third one, he said ratios are meaningful, which means if you have 20 marks, it means that you have twice as much as 10 marks. Okay. So if you are okay with that, please give me a thumbs up. If you are okay with number 2, please give me a thumbs up. If you are not okay, thumbs down. Okay, I see thumbs up. I only see thumbs up. I don't see any thumbs down. So let's just continue quickly. And also let me check what time we are left with. I think the call ends in 16 minutes. So I'll just be very quick. And then I think what I'll do is I'll answer a few of them and then I'll leave others for you. Okay? The third one says the telephone numbers of 50 companies. So the telephone numbers of 50 companies is actually, we use the nominal scale to measure them. Okay, let's see, I think. Alright. Okay, as I was saying, we use the nominal scale to measure the telephone numbers of companies. Why do we use the nominal scale? The first thing is, at the back of my mind, I said that this is actually not numerical data, it's categorical, which means it can either be nominal or ordinal. So telephone numbers, we cannot add telephone numbers, so they are not, it's not numerical. That's actually the reason behind me choosing that it's actually categorical and not numerical. It's because you cannot add telephone numbers. And then for the reason behind me choosing nominal scale instead of ordinal scale is that because we actually the order in which we write the numbers does not matter. So if you are okay with number 3, give me a thumbs up. If you are okay with number 3, give me a thumbs up. Okay, or if you are not okay with number 3, give me a thumbs down. Okay, do you guys hear me? Okay, Pinana, yes. Okay, everybody. Okay, so which means everybody it's okay. It's okay, okay. So there's no problem. Let me just continue. So yeah, the number 4 says the distances in kilometers. Okay, so we use the ratio scale for distances in kilometers. Why do we use the ratio scale? First thing, at the back of my mind, I told you I decided whether it's numerical or categorical. So I said that no, it's numerical because we can actually add maybe 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers, so it's possible for us to add them. So that means it's numerical, so which means it's what, either interval or ratio. So I said it's ratio. Y 0 kilometers means that there is no distance actually. 0 kilometers means that there's no distance, and the difference between variable values are meaningful, which means 20 kilometers, the difference between 20 kilometers and 10 kilometers is the same as the difference between 40 kilometers and 50 kilometers, which is 10 kilometers. The third reason is that the ratios are meaningful, which means if you have 20 kilometers, it means that you have twice as much as 10 kilometers. So that's the reasoning behind my answer, ratio scale. So number 5, the grade levels offered at primary schools, e.g. grade 1 and grade 2, etc. Anyone who wants to answer this one? Number 5, the grade levels offered at primary school. For example, grade 1, grade 2, is it nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? Yeah, Uncle Sinati, you can answer. Ordinal. Okay, so yes, you can explain. 100% true. Your answer is actually 100%. So if you heard him, that's the correct answer. Duna, you are also correct. Ordinal, because it can be ordered. Yeah, you are also correct. So the answers are very much correct. Okay, so we use the ordinal scale because it's not numerical. The order matters. 6, the ages in years of UJ students. Anyone who wants to answer? Or let me just give you the answer for this one. Okay, the ages in years of UJ students. We can agree that this is numerical data, so it can either be interval or ratio, right? So the measurement scale we use is ratio, because if you have 0 years, it means that you have no years at all. So you have 0 years, it means that you have no years at all. So 0 means there's nothing. The difference between variable values are meaningful. If you a person having 10 years, or the difference between 10 years and 20 years is the same as the difference between 60 years and 70 years, which is 10. So the difference between variable values are meaningful. The last one, ratios, are meaningful. If you are maybe 20 years, it means that you are twice as old as 10 years. So that's why I said it's ratio. That's the reasoning behind that. Okay. So yeah, number 7 says the symbol A, B, C, D, or E on a report of a high school learner. On the report of a high school learner. Anyone who wants to answer that? Yes, Nkosinati, you can answer. It's ordinal. Why? Yes, 100% true. Your answer is very, very much correct. We use the ordinal scale because they can actually be ordered A, B, C, D. They follow a specific pattern and can be ranked. Okay. Number 8, students are grouped into different classes according to their choice of subjects. So for this one, if we group students according to their choice of subjects, for example, these ones are doing BCom accounting, this one BCom business management, these ones logistics. So is it, we can all agree that this is actually categorical data. So we have to decide whether it's nominal or ordinal scale that we use to measure the data. So we can all agree that this, we actually use the nominal scale, right? Why? It's because the order does not matter. Okay, so we can put them in any order. Sorry for that. So number 9 is IQ scores, or intellectual quotient score. So the IQ scores are numerical. Why? Because you can add one value of an IQ score to another one. So I have to decide whether it's interval or ratio. Okay, so the answer is what? Is interval. Why do I say that we use the interval scale to measure? Why do I say that we use the interval scale to measure IQ scores? Number 1, it's because 0, it's an arbitrary reference point. So if you have 0 IQ, it does not mean you do not have a mind or you don't think at all. So 0, it's an arbitrary reference point. Okay. Number 2, the difference between variable values are meaningful. So if you have 20, the difference between 10 units of IQ and 20 units is the same as the difference between 30 and 40 units of a person's IQ. So the number 2 is actually met. The standard number 2 is actually met. And then the last one, the ratios are not meaningful. So if you are, for example, if you have an IQ of 20, you have 20 scores of an IQ, it does not mean that you are twice as intelligent as a person who has 10 IQ scores. Why? It's because the things that they use to measure are actually not very accurate to actually to the extent that they can tell you exactly what's actually the exact difference between 10 and 20 IQ scores. So 20, it just tells you that this person is actually smarter than that one, but does not accurately tell you that that person is actually twice as smart as the other person. Are you guys um, okay with the last one? Give me a thumbs up if you're okay. If you're not, thumbs down. Okay, so I see everybody is okay with it. So the call ends in 5 minutes. And we are still left with a few things. Okay. Yeah, but I think the rest is actually just a repetition, but in a different context. So the rest, I'm sure you guys are going to do them on your own, so that you actually test your knowledge. And I need you to give reasons behind your answer, because you're not going to use the answer at the exam. You're going to use the reason to actually answer the question that you have been given. So if you guys agree that you will do the rest of the questions on your own, right? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Okay, that's great, because Nat is going to attempt them on his own and then test himself, and also that's very great. So I that the most important thing that I actually plead with you is that please give reasons. Don't just and also make sure that you do not see the answer before you answer. So make sure you hide the answer before you actually an- answer, okay? And then you will see it after, so that you do not maybe cram and say I saw categorical, which means it's categorical, and then you write quickly, and then you get it right here, and then at the exam, then you are confused. Then, so that's not right. So thank you guys for attending today. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your commitment to your studies. I'm